But there was an October surprise this weekend that I did not see coming, and that surprise is this. Elon Musk has ups.
His rocket company is the only reason we can now send American astronauts into space. Come here. Take over, Elon. Just take over.
Hey! He's acting like a guy who won a radio contest. No! I can't believe I get to bid on the washer dryer! The world's richest man and one of the most popular people on social media. He's got 200 million followers, completely organically, on his platform. You know, because of how interesting his tweets are. Like, things like, and interesting. And FEMA is shutting down airspace to stop people from bringing help. Yeah, he tweets that. Anyway, his October surprise is he's come out MAGA.
Hi, everyone. As you can see, I'm not just MAGA, I'm dark MAGA.
Dark MAGA? I didn't know it came in flavors. I wonder if for the holidays they'll come out with peppermint bark MAGA. Or pumpkin spice MAGA. I like my MAGA like I like my coffee. Filled with chemicals that trick your taste buds into thinking you're drinking autumnal food. Don't know what my accent was. Now, you might think one of the world's richest men controlling one of the world's most influential platforms could be a recipe for what some may consider election interference. You stupid, stupid people. You disgust me. Election interference is what Mark Zuckerberg did.
Former President Trump alleging Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg will try to unlawfully influence the 2024 election, writing, if he does anything illegal, this time he will spend the rest of his life in prison.
That's why he'll be in prison? Not for falsely promising me a beautiful life in the metaverse? Oh, JS 69420. The life we could have led. Now, Zuckerberg did give $400 million to organizations for voting infrastructure during the pandemic. And a good portion of that money did go to Democratic precincts. And Donald Trump did lose the election, so election interference. But not illegal. And obviously Musk isn't going to do anything like that.
Elon Musk is offering hourly pay to anyone willing to encourage people in swing states to register to vote.
He stated, quote, for every person you refer who is a swing state voter, you get $47. Easy money.
Oh, shit. He's giving everybody $47 million. When Trump finds out, when I think of the prison Donald Trump is going to send that sweet jumping bean of a genius to, it chills me. When Trump finds out about this, it's not going to be pretty.
How good a guy is Elon Musk? Right? You saw him last night. How good?
What the f***? Wait, that's not election interference because he's for you? Well, what else do you think is election interference?
The Donald Trump biopic, The Apprentice, does not always portray Donald Trump in a flattering light, and the Trump campaign threatened to sue its filmmakers,
calling the film pure fiction and election interference.
Oh, come on! That's election interference? Maybe it's election interference, but you got to be a little bit flattered that you're being played by Sebastian Stan. I mean... Oh, Sebastian. If you're the Winter Soldier, why is it suddenly so warm in here? I look like Sebastian Stan if you were to put his face through one of those filters on TikTok that show your appearance right before you die. It's... Yeah, you can applaud that. That's fine. I'm not... I know what I look like. But what about big tech? Donald Trump, surely they're not sitting this out.
Critics accuse big tech of election interference as Amazon's Alexa gave favorable reasons to vote for Kamala Harris, but not for Donald Trump.
Alexa, why should I vote for Donald Trump?
I cannot provide content that promotes a specific political party or a specific candidate.
Alexa, why should I vote for Kamala Harris?
While there are many reasons to vote for Kamala Harris, the most significant may be that she is a woman of color who has overcome numerous obstacles to become a leader in her field.
Okay, I'll give you that one. That one. No. That is f***ed up. That is f***ed up. I'm not sure Alexa's really influential enough for it to be considered election interference, but...
Oh, like you're so influential. I don't think I need a lecture from Mr. Monday Nights.
Yeah, that's fair. I was just trying to make the point that that's not what people should use Alexa for. Which reminds me, Alexa, could you activate the bidet? That's good. That's good tech. Can I tell you something? Sometimes the shit's even too dumb for me. By the way, none of the stuff that we're talking about is election interference. Yet Trump has threatened almost all of them with either imprisonment, lawsuits, or censoring. Which is why this one section of this weekend's rally in Pennsylvania was so striking. When Elon Musk was discussing why he supports Donald Trump.
The other side wants to take away your freedom of speech. You must have free speech in order to have democracy. That's why it's the First Amendment.
Elon, were you not watching the rest of the show? A movie Trump doesn't like is going to get sued. A tech mogul he doesn't like, he wants to put in prison. It's not free speech if only Trump's admirers get to do it without consequence. That's just not how it works. It doesn't go that way. I don't see how his support of free speech is expose the belly worthy. I just don't. But at least the Constitution remains intact and is there to ensure that we have the First Amendment.
The Second Amendment is there to ensure that we have the First Amendment.
Guns don't protect our free speech. Our free speech is protected by the consent of the governed laid out through the Constitution. It's not based on the threat of violence. It's based on elections, organizing, referendums, a judicial system. Our social contract offers many, many avenues to remedy these issues and allows sides to be heard and adjudicated. Guns, from what I can tell, seem to mostly protect the speech of the people holding the gun. It's a tool of intimidation. And if I may finish, listen, motherfuckers, I'm not done. It is a tool of intimidation, and one that I think is actually being irresponsibly and recklessly invoked. Because some people in your crowd thought they might have been shadow banned by Facebook. I mean, for God's sakes, you guys are in Butler, Pennsylvania. The whole reason you're there is because some fucking asshole with an AR-15 tried to permanently litigate his vision of this country's free speech. That's why you're there. The whole point of a society is guns don't decide it. I would prefer at this moment not to trade in a government that offers me many remedies for my concerns, legitimate or illegitimate, for a situation where my rights are determined by how many militia members agree with me. The country ain't perfect. And there's a lot of issues we don't agree on. Choice, immigration, shrinkflation of snack chips, the unholy marriage of penguins and hippos. But honestly, dude, a country that can adjudicate these complicated issues through a sometimes frustrating, overly bureaucratic constitutional system of checks and balances and peaceful transfer of power is the only kind of country that I want the children of Pesto and Mudang to grow up in.
The country is still dealing with the aftermath of Hurricane Helene, but now it looks like there's a sequel on the way that may pull a joker, a.k.a. cost a lot more and suck even harder.
The breaking news, potentially one of the most destructive storms on record. That's the new warning from the National Hurricane Center about Hurricane Milton headed for Florida's west coast.
It's a Category 5, which is something that I've never heard a Category 5 actually coming onto land, but it looks like it's going to.
Wow! Donald, you never heard of a Category 5 hurricane hitting land? It's weird, because I remember one happening while you were president. What did you say after that happened?
I'm not sure that I've ever even heard of a Category 5.
Yes. For all you people who think he's in mental decline, turns out he's been the same level of stupidity for years. He must do Sudoku. Yes. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. I got it. Okay, but yes, Hurricane Milton is bearing down on Florida, which is terrible because we still haven't cleaned up the fallout from Helene. And not just the flooding and the debris. I'm talking about the torrent of misinformation and bullshit that we're still wading through. Because if you've been getting your news from Eternal Hurricane on the Spotless Mind over here, you might think that the victims of Hurricane Helene have been completely abandoned by the government.
The White House is doing nothing. They've abandoned us. And you know, it's largely a Republican area. They haven't seen anybody from the federal government yet. The federal government isn't there.
Horrifying, if true. Comrade Kamala and Sleepy Joe's federal government has left Republican voters out to dry just because of their party affiliations. Now, these Republican governors of those states must be outraged. Virginia Governor Glenn Youngkin, tell the world what horrors you've seen.
I'm incredibly appreciative of the rapid response and the cooperation from the federal team at FEMA.
Oh, okay. You're probably some deep state Democratic ploy. But Tennessee and Florida and Georgia, you guys are the real red states. Your governors will dish on how slow the federal government's response has been.
The response was quick from the federal government.
We have what we need.
We got what we need. He offered that if there's other things we need, just to call him directly.
Okay. All right. Okay. Let me get this right. So every red state governor said Biden is competently helping them. It's clear what's happening here. Either Trump has been lying, or every governor has been seduced by the sexual power of Joe Biden's slow, confused smile. That's a smile that says, I don't know where I am, but I know where I want to be. But Trump isn't the only one spreading misinformation. Conservative media is spreading lies that FEMA is diverting resources to Ukraine, that Jews in the government are secretly sabotaging aid, and the biggest conspiracy of all, that the hurricane was deliberate.
Republican Marjorie Taylor Greene posting on X, yes, they can control the weather. It's ridiculous for anyone to lie and say it cannot be done.
Whatever happened to the good old days when conservatives believed sensible things, like hurricanes were creations of God, who was pissed off by gay marriage? You know what happened? Did God go to a really nice gay wedding in Cabo and pass off hurricane duties to Chuck Schumer? You know what? I was against this, but when I saw Bruce and Gary take those vows, wow. They had a live band, for Christ's sakes. That's class. These crazy conspiracy theories aren't harmless. They spread paranoia around a population that is already desperate. And we're starting to see the effect.
We talked to people who believed that there were federal officials who were seizing a town called Chimney Rock, North Carolina, that there was this conspiracy to seize the town and to bulldoze all the bodies and hide them, maybe to mine it for lithium.
Do you see what's happening? People are afraid those who are coming to help are actually coming to steal their lithium. Everyone, let's be clear, completely clear. The U.S. government doesn't destroy towns to steal their resources. In the U.S., in the Middle East, sure. All this misinformation distracts from the fact that there are real people in these disaster zones who need help. Like this heartbreaking photo of this little girl and her puppy. Beneath all these lies, her suffering is real.
No, these photos claiming to show girls and puppies being rescued after Hurricane Helene are not real. They were made with AI.
Damn it! How can something so fake elicit such real tears? Of course, this hurricane is happening in 2024, which means on top of all the misinformation from our politicians, we also have to deal with the flood of fake AI bullshit. Like these pictures of little girls, or this fake picture of Donald Trump wading through the floodwaters. Now, this one is subtle. You can tell this one is fake because it's a picture of Donald Trump helping people. Okay. But you have to look close. You have to look close. But for a lot of other pictures, we have to spend time learning how to spot AI.
This is how we figured out this photo was AI generated. You can count that there are 6 fingers on this hand, and there's also 3 nostrils in this guy's nose, which obviously is not a thing.
Thank you, Big Tech, for improving our lives. We had to bulldoze 15 acres of the Amazon to make that extra nostril, but I think we can all agree it was worth it. With less than a month to go, both campaigns are going all out. Starting with Democratic nominee Kamala Harris, who's been everywhere recently. News shows, daytime talk shows, satellite radio, podcasts, your kid's piano recital. She applauded, but seriously, chopsticks? I mean, you could do better, Arlo. And this media blitz is not a moment too soon because voters are looking for change. And Kamala needs to articulate why she's the candidate of change. She's had plenty of time to think about it, so let's see her answer.
If anything, would you have done something differently than President Biden during the past 4 years?
There is not a thing that comes to mind.
Not a thing is coming into your mind? You really are continuing the Biden legacy. Come on, Madam VP. This is an opportunity to differentiate yourself from an unpopular administration. Surely you would do something different.
Listen, I plan on having a Republican in my cabinet. You asked
I got a list.
Yes, right. You asked me what's the difference between Joe Biden and me. Well, that will be one of the differences. I'm going to have a Republican in my cabinet.
Okay. Everything Joe Biden did, plus Republicans. Sneaky move, you know, appealing to Republicans by promising to do a diversity hire, you know? Which they famously love that. Now that she said that, I'm sure she's set. She won't go too far in trying to appeal to conservatives.
I have a Glock.
Okay. Easy, Madam Vice President. I have a family, okay? You know, I guess in these times, you do have to reach out to people who wouldn't be your natural allies. And obviously, she gets that.
You have my sword. And you have my bow. And my axe.
I have a Glock.
No. That was very dumb. But as Kamala reaches out to Republicans, her Republican opponent, Donald Trump, has been sitting down for podcast interviews, which are great because there's more of a freewheeling conversation there that allows him to really dig deep into the issues.
I'm good with names, you know.
You are.
You're very good with names.
Yeah.
I mean, Pocahontas.
Yeah.
We have names.
What about, and there was, Tampon Tim was good. What about,
the problem with Tampon Tim, it's hard to say.
Yeah.
In other words,
it's a mouthful.
But when you put the names together, it's a little, you got to be able to pume.
You know, it's nice to see how reflective Trump has become in his old age. You know? Looking back on everything, I wonder, did Tampon Tim have enough Meanwhile, the Trump campaign has brought out a very special surrogate, Melania Trump, former First Lady and the only Slovenian you can name off the top of your head. Well, we don't see a lot of Melania, but she's also been on a media tour this week. Fox News, social media, your kid's piano recital. Arlo, you are not be best. Now, obviously, she's out there because she's a supportive wife who believes in her husband's America First. I'm with you. She has a book to sell. You know, people make a lot of jokes about this marriage, but when I look at their shared love of exploiting our political system to sell shit for personal profit, I just see two soulmates. Now, we actually have a copy here. Yeah, this is it. This is her book. I want to read you a quick passage just to give you a feel for it. This is real. Page 78 from right after he won the 2016 election. As Donald prepared to go down to his office on Wednesday morning, he and I had a private moment. Congratulations, I said. What an achievement. All those other people. And you won. You're the President of the United States of America. And you're the First Lady, he said. Good luck. I gotta wipe away a tear on that one. That is a heartwarming moment that definitely wasn't created by ChatGPT. Turns out writing is hard when you don't have Michelle Obama to plagiarize from. It is hard. It's very difficult. Very difficult. And yesterday, Melania paid a visit to her husband's other true love, Fox News, where she revealed an interesting personal tidbit about her husband.
Would you have married Donald Trump if you had a crystal ball that said he would be president?
That's a interesting question.
By the way, does he ever sleep?
Yes. He doesn't sleep much. He does, of course.
Does he wear pajamas?
No.
No. What does he wear when he sleeps, Melania?
Well, one of the things she...
Oh. No pajamas, huh? That's a steamy image. I can just imagine that scene. Trump under the covers, dressed only in his long red tie. Melania says, "You are naked in bed." And he says, "And you are the First Lady. Good luck." Wow. Inflation has been a major headache for America the past few years. But for those of you who like paying less for things, today brought some welcome news.
Some new economic info. Just today, we have new inflation numbers. Annual inflation rate now 2.4%. That's according to the Consumer Price Index. It is inflation's lowest point in 3 years.
Yeah! Suck it, inflation! Suck it! You get down and you stay down. Now, for those of you who aren't big CPI heads like myself, 2.4% inflation is getting pretty close to the Fed's target level of 2%, which was chosen because it's Jerome Powell's favorite kind of milk. Of course, good news for the Biden-Harris economy is bad news for Donald Trump, who is campaigning against the Biden-Harris administration. But throughout this campaign, Trump has had a very subtle way of casting doubt on positive economic reports. See if you can catch it.
Wall Street ends the week on a positive note. The Dow and S&P 500 both hitting record highs.
We are a nation whose economy is collapsing into a cesspool of ruin.
2024 has kicked off with a bang. 353,000 jobs were added.
You're going to lose your jobs.
Main Street hiring, firing on all cylinders here.
The economy has just been reported to be doing very badly.
1 month gain in job growth, best since January 2022.
Our economy is doing terribly.
The numbers that we're getting on the real economy show that it's holding up remarkably well.
The Biden economy is a nightmare.
Look at that spike in consumer staples. Everything's looking great here.
I keep hearing about their economy. Their economy's terrible.
The blue chips make history for the fourth straight day.
It's the worst economy that we've ever had.
Jobs are up. The stock market hit that all-time high. Do you acknowledge that the economy is improving?
No, it's not.
Nuh-uh. Bad economy says what? What? Now look, in Trump's defense, just because the numbers are good doesn't mean people aren't struggling. I mean, just the other day, I saw one very desperate American pawning everything he owns for chump change, you know? So sad. That Bitcoin was a family heirloom. His grandfather smuggled it out of Europe in his ass. But while an improving economy is a boost to Kamala Harris, she's got another big problem on her hands.
What is becoming a growing concern among Democrats and the Harris campaign that she is indeed struggling with male voters.
Among men, Trump has a sizable lead. He's beating Harris by 12 points.
Wow. 12 points. Really? That's a lot. I mean, surely men would be open-minded about having a female president. You know what? Hang on. Let me check something. Okay, let me see. All right, here. Okay. All right. Oh, no. Seriously? Okay. Whoa! Oh, God. All right. Oh, my. Yeah. Oh, okay. No, that checks out. Yeah, that checks out. So, perhaps this shouldn't come as a huge surprise. There's a reason why America has the same number of female presidents as the Taliban. But there's a certain type of person who thinks that voting for a woman makes you less of a man. And that type of person is on TV.
No real men would ever vote for Kamala Harris.
I don't see why any man would vote Democrat. That person has mommy issues, or they're just trying to be accepted by other women.
I vote like a real man, and I vote for the conservative.
The Democratic Party has been emasculating men for decades.
Kamala Harris picking up a shovel. It's like she's never used one before.
If you want weak men and the angry women around them, like that's the party for you, for sure.
Exactly. Republicans are the party of real men, real tough men who are strong and love America and won't back down and hate Democrat-run cities because there's so many scary people there. Oh, Mama, please don't let me get murdered when I'm crossing the street. Oh, God, Mommy, the streets are dirty and there are immigrants. Please send Donald Trump to help me, Mommy. I'm so scared. That's how a real man feels. But that's what right-wingers believe. If you're a man who votes for a woman, your penis evaporates. And then you just walk out of the voting booth with a smooth mound with an I voted sticker on it. But it's not just Democrat voters who aren't real men. The Democratic Party itself is so emasculated that not only is it its presidential nominee not a male, but her male running mate isn't even a male.
Women love masculinity, and women do not love Tim Walz. So that should just tell you about how masculine Tim Walz is.
Tim Walz trying to basically redefine what masculinity is.
He's like the soft man.
You look at the way that Tim Walz dances around on the stage. It's not someone who comes across as this alpha male, someone who's a killer.
Here's Twitchy Tim on stage, waving profusely in a very unsettling manner. Very unsettling.
The Tim Walz Jazz Hands and High Kicking Tour.
Men should not move this way. The other day, you saw him with a vanilla ice cream shake. Had a straw in it. Oh. Again, that tells you everything.
Yeah, real men don't drink milkshakes with a straw. You crawl your way into a cow and drink it from the inside. Or you punch the milkshake, then lick the remains off your hands. Or, and this one maybe is a long shot, real men don't have opinions about the right way to drink a vanilla milkshake? I don't know. You know, this really shows you how much they love moving the goalposts. Democrats nominated a deer-hunting military vet football coach who can change a spark plug. And you're like, but have you seen the way he waves? You know, for a bunch of manly men, you guys are some catty little bitches. Look, I'm not here to condemn anyone. As an impartial fake journalist, it's not my place to say that pointing at someone and calling him a wuss is in any way inappropriate for a serious political party. But I should warn conservatives that some of the shots they're taking might be hitting one particular target they didn't mean to.
Conservative women want strong men. We don't want these wimpy, woke guys that, you know, focus more on their hair.
I'm just checking out the hairstyle as I'm talking.
Men just look at another man, and you can kind of know if he's an athlete. Kind of look at the way he can go down the stairs.
Being a
real man is about having personal responsibility.
January 6th, is there anything you regret about what you did on that day? Yes or no?
I had nothing to do with that.
A hug is not the way you hug your wife. You know, you hug your wife from the body. You don't hug like this. Here's Twitchy Tim on stage, waving profusely in a very unsettling manner. Men should not move this way. It's not the way we move.
Don't listen to those meanies, Donald. Don't listen to them. Nothing is more manly than your dance moves, Donnie. Nothing.